Oh, what a glorious thing to be, a healthy, grown-up, busy bee, whiling away the passing hours.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my workshop for the sixth part of this, what's turning out to be a fairly protracted series of videos on the construction of the low-profile rotary table. Before we press on, just a couple of things. I'm aware that the volume on these, the introduction part of the video is not brilliant, and that's because I'm using a smartphone. Hopefully I'll be getting a lapel badge type microphone fairly soon, and that should improve things. In the meantime, I'm moving a bit closer to the camera. The other thing is the key slot cutters have arrived this morning, and so without any further ado, I'll get on with milling the T-slots, and I'll film myself doing that, hopefully without any mishaps, but if it does go wrong, you'll be able to see exactly where I failed. Over to the mill. Just a brief intermission here to explain that when I came to edit the clips together, I found that the vibration induced by the key cutting cutter was quite severe, and it transmitted itself through to the camera. Consequently, a fair amount of these shots are pretty blurred and shaky, for which I apologise, but there's no way I can reshoot them, I'm afraid. Anyway, on with the show. Right, so here we are then, back over at the mill. I've got the key slot cutter installed in the chuck. I'm just about to line it up. The spindle has already been centered, and the DRO set. What I'm going to do is use this scale across the table and on the top of the cutter. I shall wind the table up until the top of the cutter lines up with the top of the table. Zero the Z-axis on the DRO, and then wind it up by about 3 millimeters. Lock the Z-axis and then start a cut. Okay, motor on, not too fast, and start a feed. Fingers crossed. To the end of the slot, it felt as if it was starting to seize up a little, so I'm just going to hoover out the slot and get rid of all the tuck. I'll see if that helps. Sorry about the noise. Right, so there we go. This is not sounding good. I must investigate. Right, well, investigation's over. It turns out that there are a couple of teeth from the old key slot cutter still stuck in the back of the partially milled slot. I've managed to dig those out, and I've finished off this T-slot. It's not very pretty, so I shall show you that one. However, we will start and take a cut on this one, and hope that the T-slot cutter is not too, or the mill key slot cutter, I mean, is not too blunt. So here we go. Stop right there, because that doesn't look quite lined up to me. Centre on the slot, so we're going to have another go. I fear I may have knocked it off centre while I was hammering out the teeth. So let's line that up and off we go again. Quite aggressive enough with the feed, I don't think. So here we are, coming up to the end of this one. I think I'll stop there and back out. Clear the swarf and then go in for the final cut on this run. There, that's down to full depth there. I'll now drop the cutter down to full depth and just take the final skim off the bottom of the T-spot. Final cut on this run. I'll just clean up with the vacuum and then you can come back and have a look. These are handheld shots, I'm afraid, but there we are, that's the finished article. The other two I'll do off camera, and I think I'll probably treat myself to the other new key slot cutter. So I rather think I blunted that one when I tried to gnaw away at the old teeth. The slots are all now milled. A little bit of fettling required with the file just to clean up the edges where there's a few burrs. Not the prettiest of jobs, but it will perform the function. I've deburred the holes on the back, and that's now ready for, as I say, the final fettling, and put it to one side. Next up will be the vernier plate, which I think I said in an earlier video I'm going to mount on the larger rotary table on the base of the tool itself, and I've roughly marked where the holes are going to be, and that will be roughly the position and shape. And once this is secured, I've drilled and tapped the bottom blade. I'll do this radius here down to about, well, halfway, perhaps a little over, and then the same with this radius. Flip the plate over so that it then presents itself like that. Mill out the other side of this radius and this one, and then do the holes. But that's for another day. That concludes this somewhat briefer section, and I hope you found it instructive. I certainly did. And next up will be the vernier plate machining on the larger rotary table. As ever, if you have been and still are, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.